Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Hey guys, I'm Sarah Dotterweich, and today I will be working on the lyrical flute All-State Etude for middle schoolers. I'm first going to play it for you so you can get a feel for what it sounds like. Lyrical piece, dynamics play a very important part in your playing, and so we're going to go through and color where the crescendos are and all the dynamic markings. So we start off the piece mezzo forte, and so I might just circle, and then we crescendo, and so I'm coloring. Yay, coloring! Okay, and then mezzo forte again. Crescendo. Coloring in your dynamics helps you remember, and you can see it better, and so you don't really forget that they're there. Our tempo marking indicates that it's 60 beats per minute and the quarter note gets the beat. So because the tempo is so slow, when you have an opportunity to breathe, make sure you get a nice deep breath. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take an orange marker and I'm going to circle it where all the breath marks are. Mark right here as well, because this E flat is a phrase almost. And so play the E flat, breathe, and then come back in on the G. Adding in a crescendo on beat 1 of measure 9, this will help with breath support and being able to hit that high F on beat 3. And because it's going up the scale, naturally it will get louder as well. Starting on beat 3 in measure 10, also add a crescendo there, because even though you're going down the scale, you need a lot of air and able to get down to that low D. Your air and driving it down to this D will help with the low note sounding. Measure 12, you're going to start it off loud, but as you go down the scale, you want to decrescendo and you want to taper off this E flat because it's the end of a phrase. And when you taper off, make sure you lift your head and you roll out your flute a little in case it goes flat, because the tendency of playing longer notes is to go flat for flute. Most prominent articulations that we have in this exercise are the accented tenuto markings, which keys you don't want to play it too harshly. You want to think of like a light daw, and we see 2 16th notes and a dotted quarter note. Here's your beat: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 3 E and 1. In measure 5, we see the same rhythm, 2 16th notes and a dotted quarter note, but on beats 3 and 4 are triplets. Counting the whole measure, here's your quarter note: 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 and triplet, triplet, 1. Also in measure 7, we are introduced to a new rhythm, and it's on beat 3 and 4, and it's 3 and 4 E and 1. Now be careful not to play this as the same as this. This is a dotted quarter note when this is just an 8th note. In measure 16, we have rhythms that look very similar to each other. However, on beats 1 and 2, it's 1 and a 2 and a. But then when we get to 3, it's 3 and 4 and. So it's flip-flopped. Okay, in measure 17, we have a funky new rhythm. And it is 16th note triplets with 8th notes. So the best way to do this is to practice it with just the ands. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then once you're comfortable where the and beats are, add in the triplets. Triplet and 2, triplet 3, 4. Beats 3 and 4 of measure 17 also, players will have a tendency to want to play the 16th notes as triplets, but they are only 16. So a few things to remember while practicing this piece is that you do have a technical piece along with this lyrical piece. For the technical piece, they'll be looking more for correct rhythms and speed and everything like that. With this lyrical piece, though, they will be looking more with musicality and intonation. So when practicing this, you definitely want to make sure that you practice with a tuner, practice with a metronome, because a tendency with this piece is to rush the 16th notes and just rush in general. So they'll really be looking for that as well. The 3 main points from this lesson are to use really good breath support for this piece, and that will help with intonation in your phrases, dynamics, and correct rhythms, making sure that they aren't all the same.
Hello, it's me.